Alright guys, welcome to the game. Alright, so the first thing you do is hit new project in the corner, and then you type in the name of your game. So I'm going to call this one Escape Detention. You can name it whatever you want, you could change it later, it doesn't matter. Once you're done with that, you hit create. It'll create a brand new project. Now this looks just like the Code or Z code, but the first thing you have to do is create a sprite. A sprite is a character. So you click sprites, and this first one right here underneath the word create makes you create a sprite. So you drag that into start, and you have to name your character. To name your character, you click right here where it says my sprite, then you click rename variable, and you name it whatever you want. So I'm going to name mine Zach. Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, the TV show. So I click that. Now my character is already named Zach Morris. Right here it says it's the player. It's who I'm playing as. Now I have to design my character, so I click this gray box. It looks just like a PNG, so we're going to go ahead and design our character. Take as much time as you want to design it. I'm going to make mine super quick. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to give it some blonde hair, like Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. And I'll give it some skin color. I'm going to make it a floating head. Make the eyebrows yellow. There we go. That's my character. Once you're done with your character, you click the word done. Now your character will exist. You can see he's inside of the game, but we want to make our character move, so we need to click controller. And we're in this first one right here, move my sprite with buttons. But it's not called my sprite anymore. It's now called Zach Morris. So we got to change it from my sprite to Zach Morris, or whatever your character's name is. You can now move your character, but if you notice over here, it's just a black screen. So we need to give it a background. So we click the word scene. And right here underneath tiles, it says set tile map to. We drag that one right there. We click the gray box, and we start to design our game. So the first thing you need to choose is the floor color. I'm going to choose like a whole garden theme, so I'm going to click this box here and the paint bucket, and I click here, and it fills in the whole thing. Next, I'm going to make my path. Now, you need to keep this section here clean, and we're going to put a treasure chest here, so we'll leave that there. I click the pencil again, and I go ahead and I make a border around the whole game. This is going to make my life a lot easier. Remember what I said? If you you want to keep this area right here clean, this area right here, and you want to keep this box right here clean, like with nothing on it. So I'm going to create a maze right now. And you can really make anything you want, doesn't matter. I'm doing something a little different, nothing too crazy. Okay, that's going to be my maze. Now the next thing I need to do is add a treasure chest, so I click over here, I click dungeon, and it's this first one right here, and I'm going to put my treasure chest right here. Now the next thing you need to do is tell what is a wall and what is not a wall. So you click the pencil again, and you click this little 3D box right here. It's going to make it red. Highlight anything you want to be a ball in red. Oh, I messed up there. So if you mess up, you click the eraser while the red thing is highlighted. You click and the red box goes away. Click the pencil again, and the red thing is back. like I said, there's not a really easy way. Oops, I messed up to do this. So let me just finish this. Okay, so we're done with our walls. Everything is highlighted now, so we click done. Feel free to click over here on the game board, and then using the arrows on your keyboard, you can move your character. Whee! Now, if you notice that if you go off the camera, it doesn't follow you, so we need to make it so the camera follows us. So we click the word scene, and all the way down here at the bottom, it says this one, camera follow sprite. So click that, drag that into your box, and change it from my sprite to your character's name. Now, if you notice, it will follow your character. It's cool, right? But whenever you hit refresh, you might notice that your character isn't, like, he might be floating on a wall, so you need to set it to where he's in, like, the right spot. So you go to sprites again, and it's this first one, set my sprite position to X0, Y0, drag that here, change it from my sprite to Zach Morris. And you got to mess with these a little bit. It's an X and Y axis if you learn that in math. You could see it will line up. So see, I'm going to do mine right there. And you mess with it until you get in the right box. See, I got mine in the right box, so he's perfect. All right. Now we're going to set it to where when you get to the treasure chest, the game is over. So you go ahead and you click Scene, and underneath Tiles, it's this one, On Sprite, of Kind Player Overlaps, blank at Location. Drag that, but you don't make it part of your code. I'm going to put it over here to the side. And where it shows this gray box, I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click the treasure chest. Then I go over here to the game, and I click Game Over. I drag that in. And I change it from lose to win. Now watch, when I get to my treasure chest, let's see if I can get there. It should win. I don't even know how to get to my treasure chest. I'm the worst. Let's see. Boom, I win, I'm the best. Okay, but now you want enemies, you want bad guys. So once again, we're gonna create a new sprite. Click sprite. Set my sprite to sprite kind, that whole thing, you click that. But change it from here, from player to enemy. And my sprite, we are going to click new variable. Now I'm going to name my bad guy, we'll name it Principal. I forget, Belding is his name in the show. Okay, so I'm going to make my Principal Belding, so I click the gray box and I design Principal Belding. Principal Belding was his old bald guy. I'm going to make him look old and bald. Oh, I just messed that up. Let me see. Okay. This is a horrible Mr. Belding. He was kind of bald like that, like he had a little bit of hair. Doesn't really matter. I'm just throwing it together. He was always yelling. Ugh. There we go. Looks like a weird fish. Sorry. Click done, and we have our character, our bad guy. So now we need to set it to where the character follows him. So I think you go to sprite, and you go to this one, set my enemy to follow my sprite. And we're going to change it from my enemy to the name of your enemy, Principal Belding. And we're going to change my sprite to the name of your sprite, which is Zach Morris. Now, if you notice, you could click here and it will adjust the speed. So I'm going to adjust speed. I'm going to make it 1. So that makes them nice and slow. You can make it any speed you want. I don't care. Go back to sprites. You got to tell it where you want the enemy to be. So you click the sprites. You click set my sprite to position to X and 0. Change it from my sprite to principal Belding. And play with it. Figure out where you want. I'm going to move him all the way over here, like real far away. I don't want him following me. We'll see where he ends up. Look, there he is. That's a good spot for him. Okay. And now we have to make it to where if he comes in contact with me, I die. So we have to, I believe, give ourselves lives. So we're going to click under Info. We're going to do set life to 3. See what that looks like. Now we have 3 hearts for our life. We're going to go back into Info. Let me find it. On life 0, drag that one in. And you click Game, and you click Game Over. And I think you go to Sprites. Give me a second here, guys. I'm sorry. It's this one. This one, yep. So you go to Sprites, and it's this one right here. On Sprite, a kind of player overlaps that one. Drag that in. And change it from that player, change it to enemy. Then you're going to go to Info. And it's going to go change life by -1. Okay, so now if we touch our enemy, we lose 1 life. So let's try it. See if he comes to us. There you go. Okay, you finish your game. Game is over. You can now add more enemies. You can add more things. I'll show you if you have extra time on how to make like trapdoors and stuff like that. Or you can look at my code in Justin's Escape, which I shared with you. Now that you're done, click the word share in the corner, click publish project, copy this code, and save it somewhere. You can email it to yourself. You could put it in a Google Doc. I don't care what you do as long as you save it. All right, guys. Bye.